Hey guys, welcome to today's video where we're going to be breaking down today's Dolphins game. Before we get started though, please drop a quick like and a sub on today's video. That would really help my channel grow. I'd really appreciate that. With that said, let's dive right into the video and I hope you enjoy. Wow, what a big win by this Miami Dolphins team, beating the Baltimore Ravens in this Thursday night game. And heading to this game, I mean, we thought the Ravens were going to win this game. They were the clear favorites coming into it. The Dolphins obviously 2-7 heading into this game. Now they're going to be 3-7. The Ravens moved to 6-3 after the loss. But wow, what a game from this Dolphins team. Getting the win, playing a good game defensively, playing a sound game in the second half offensively after Tua Tagovailoa came in. But let's just dive in with the Dolphins here. Massive win, back-to-back weeks with wins starting to gain a little momentum. They're pretty much out of the playoff race at this point. Really have a small percentage of making it. They would have to win every single one of their next 7 games to even have a potential of getting in, and even then it wouldn't be guaranteed. So yeah, they've got a lot. They've got a lot to do, a lot to work on. But these are massive building steps. Offensively, obviously, with Jacoby Brissett, the offense was terrible. I mean, the ball in the first half wasn't moving down the field, and the only real big play from the Dolphins in that first half was a big chunk pass to Isaiah Ford that ended up setting a big time field goal before the end of the first half. But the Dolphins played really well defensively, and we'll get to that in a second. But once Tua came in, the momentum really shifted, and Tua was almost that momentum that the Dolphins needed to win this game. Once Tua came in, made some big throws, protected the ball, did give up a fumble at one point, but it was recovered by Liam Eichenberg. But overall, I mean, he played a really good game. He was finding his receivers, and yeah, sure, he was injured, but he was still throwing the ball deep downfield, looking accurate and powerful with the ball. Missed a couple throws that on a normal day he would make. But I still think he should have started the game 100%. And it was interesting to see that confidence that Brian Flores had with Tua in the second half once Jacoby Brissett got banged up and injured. And he was like, okay, we're going to Tua. Didn't even think about it twice. Brissett looked ready to go a few minutes later, but stayed with Tua and rode the hot hand for the win. Really big for him. The running game was non-existent until very late in that second half. Myles Gaskin couldn't really get going the entire game because the Baltimore Ravens were doing a really good job with their defensive line. I thought Calais Campbell had a really nice game. We'll get to the Ravens defense in a second. Wide receiver wise, I thought the only guy who played really well was Jaylen Waddle. He had a big play from Tua Tagovailoa. Albert Wilson also played really well. As well as Isaiah Ford. Some of those faster guys against this Ravens defense played really well. Isaiah Ford had a big chunk play in that first half. Albert Wilson had a big play in the second half to set up the touchdown from Tua on the QB sneak. And Jaylen Waddle was just consistent throughout the game, making big catches and making big plays, moving the chains. Mike Gesicki wasn't involved that much. Adam Shaheen had a nice catch in the first half. But overall, the offense was fine. It was fine with Tua, and it was getting the job done at times. But really, it starts with the offensive line. The offensive line was not good enough. A lot of pressure on the quarterback with Tua in there, with Jacoby Brissett in there. You got to get the ball out really quickly if you're the quarterback. And it doesn't allow for anything productive offensively to happen because there's no time. So the offensive line needs to get a lot better. They need to get better at the point of attack for the run game, but also in the pass protection. They just weren't good, and that's been the storyline this entire year. Look for the Dolphins this offseason to really invest in upgrading that offensive line. But defensively, this team was almost perfect. They really were able to stop the run in this game, and that's the key to beating the Baltimore Ravens. You've got to control the line of scrimmage. You've got to control their run game. If they're going to run the ball over you, you're going to lose. And I thought the Dolphins did a very good job stopping the run. I thought Emmanuel Ogbah played really well. He was able to get to the quarterback. Jalen Phillips was really good at getting to the quarterback too. And I thought Christian Wilkins had a nice game as well as Raekwon Davis in the heart of that defense. But more importantly, I thought Jevon Holland and Xavien Howard in the secondary were the key difference makers for this Dolphins defense. Obviously, Xavien Howard had that fumble recovered and forced that he ended up taking back for a touchdown. Absolutely huge play. He hasn't been getting a ton of interceptions lately, but he's been all around the football like usual, and he picked up a fumble and took it back for a touchdown. So, really good job by him in that game. Obviously, pretty much sealing the deal for the Dolphins, really helping them extend the lead and take it to the Ravens. And then I thought Jevon Holland played really well. He was flying all across the field, making big plays, big time end-to-end, rushing the passer. He had a sack. Jaelen Phillips also had a sack, so big game for the rookies. I just thought the Dolphins' defense played really well. They played a lot of cover zero, played a lot of blitz, tried to make Lamar Jackson feel uncomfortable, got a lot of sacks, which is something that the Dolphins have not done a lot of this year. Of course, Emmanuel Ogbah had 2.5 sacks last week against the Houston Texans, but they just haven't been getting sacks, the Dolphins defense. And that's something they did in this game, something that they really focused on and emphasized, and that's something that really, really was big for them in today's game. So overall, big win for them. Also, defensively, the one thing that I would say is in the second half, the Ravens scored a touchdown because two kind of boneheaded roughing the passer calls. One of them shouldn't have been Jevon Holland's. That was literally a bump. Emmanuel Ogbah, you can't put your entire body weight on the quarterback. So some of those mental mistakes is kind of things that allowed the Ravens to kind of get back into the game as the game progressed. But at the end of the day, really, really good defensive effort from this Dolphins team, a defense that has been playing well over the past few weeks, played well against the Bills, played against the Texans pretty well, and obviously against this Ravens team pretty well. So they're getting some momentum, and I really like the play of Holland and Xavien Howard, especially in the secondary. Then for the Baltimore Ravens, obviously tough loss. They had some high hopes of trying to move to 7-2 and trying to get a better position in that division for them, that very tight division. But overall, what didn't they do? Number one, they didn't really throw the ball effectively, and they didn't run the ball effectively. They couldn't really gain any push at the line of scrimmage, and that Dolphins defensive line was doing a really good job against them. So it starts with the running game. They weren't able to establish the running game, and when they were trying to throw the ball, Lamar Jackson was under pressure. He wasn't protected well, and the Dolphins defense was able to get to him. And then defensively, it was more about they just had some defensive mishaps that allowed the Dolphins to make some big plays. I mean, the Dolphins basically got 10 points off defensive mishaps. One in that first half that led to a field goal when they just let Isaiah Ford pretty much kind of go out of nowhere. And then in the second half with Albert Wilson, just a botch coverage, and that ended up allowing the Dolphins to score a touchdown. But more importantly, it was just the stupid mistakes. The Ravens lost this game on their own, I think. It was dumb penalties. It was the turnover, Sammy Watkins losing the ball to Xavien Howard. It was dumb penalties and dumb things like that allowed the Ravens to lose this game. So although the Ravens put up a good fight, especially in the end of the fourth quarter, with two pretty solid drives to close out the game, they weren't able to do it because they kind of shot themselves in the foot with all the penalties and mishaps they had. But overall, big win for the Dolphins. They moved to 3-7. As I said, really don't have a chance at the playoffs at this point in the season. They'd have to win a lot of games, but this is a massive win against this Ravens team. Really big for momentum, and it really showed that Tua can still play. They go and play the Jets next week away from home, so that'll be a big game for them next Sunday. Hopefully, they can get the win there against the Jets team. That's definitely under kind of duress without Zach Wilson at the moment, and they play the Panthers the week after, so they've got a seemingly solid schedule. And the Baltimore Ravens, if we look ahead for them, let's see who they play next. They're going to be playing the Chicago Bears next Sunday, so that's a winnable game for them. Both games where both teams can win games, so that's what those teams have to look forward to. But at the end of the day, big win for the Dolphins. Great showing from Tua. Really showed that he can step up and do what he needed to do. Big game for Jaylen Waddle, big game for Jevon Holland and Xavien Howard, big game for this Dolphins defense as they continue trying to grind away and keep building some momentum as they move forward. So big win here from the Miami Dolphins. Tough loss for the Ravens as they move to 6-3 on the season. Dolphins move to 3-7 as both teams look towards some winnable matchups next week.
And with that said, that's pretty much going to end the video for today. Did you agree with my analysis? Why or why not? Leave your comments and thoughts in the comment section down below. I'd love to hear what you guys have to say. Also, if you're new around here, please drop a like and a sub on today's video. I'd really appreciate that. And with that said, I hope you enjoyed the video. And until next time, see ya.